So yeah, this is Blake Murray from Atlanta, and we're here on Star TV with Miss Jade Robyn, and we're gonna talk about how certain things in our culture affect the children. And we're just gonna have a chill conversation about this topic. Sorry if
Mhm.
my video is not so clear. We'll work on that by the next episode. Um, Jade, tell us a bit about yourself. Like, where were you born? Where did your life story start, and so forth?
Oh, like the whole question. Just so by the way, if we get cut out of nowhere, it's load shedding for
Right.
everybody. Listening, okay. So, okay, as he Blake said, my name is Jade Robyn Gordon Bemis. Last year, I finished my law degree at the University of the Western Cape. So I'm born in South Africa, Mpumalanga, Standerton, so from here. And I did that last year, and now I'm just looking for articles at a law firm to complete that. I'm also writing a manuscript for a series on the side as well. What else? Yeah, besides that, that's all I've been doing. I'm 24 as well, if that counts for anything. And yeah, it's basically everything that I am.
Okay. And so I'm going to start it off with these questions that we went over before, and start off with the question of: do we really value or respect being admired honesty? And if not, or if so, give an instance in your life where someone respected you or valued you for being honest. And then thirdly, how does this affect children, whether we do admire honesty or we don't admire honesty?
Okay, the first one. I do kind of a yes and no question. If you want to see it both ways, like people do admire it and they don't. I don't know if it's just the law student in me, but I'll just give you both sides to it. Um,
Yes.
I think yes, when people admire honesty, I think a lot of the times it would be if they are good and honest people themselves. I don't know if that makes somewhat sense. I have had a lot of instances where, okay, in university specifically, like with my friends, where I was honest and it helped them. And then again, I've had situations where I think I was too honest, and then people take advantage of that. They might take advantage of that, of honest and good people. And I know what that's like, because I always try to be as kind and as good to everybody as I can. And how does it affect your children? I think I would like to raise honest children, but then again, you don't want anybody to take advantage of them. But it's better that we are honest, because if you are honest, then you can grow, then you can learn from each other. So that's the
Right.
yes part. I think I answered both yes and no.
Okay. So would you
I hope I
predominantly say we do value honesty or we don't? Like in
most
general.
of them in general they do. Like a good example is if I ask you if this top looks nice on me, I would want to know if the top looks nice on me. Like honestly, I would want to know. That's just a dumb example. But I think in general they do. Most people do. I do. I
You
know I
do.
do.
Okay. 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 So if in general people admire honesty, name some people like that are popular for being honest people in our society.
Can
Whether
I
it's
name a
their like
YouTube?
whether it's like
Can,
that they look honest in like their physical, meaning like they don't wear anything that's superficial, right? So
mm,
what's an example of someone who's being admired or being glorified for being honest in society, socially?
I'm gonna pick a YouTuber and I'm gonna say Joe Rogan. I think
Joe,
he is better than Joe Rogan. I think he's one of the most honest YouTubers or any person that I've seen. I think there's a lot of his podcast is centered around. Okay, maybe it's because he earned that right to be able to say whatever he wants and just not like, care compared to a lot of other people. I think he just seems honest and that gives me that vibe. I'm sorry if I'm stuck now. I don't want to. What can I think of? I would say a lot of the rich people, one of the 1% of the world, dress honestly in terms of they don't wear a lot of name brand clothes, and they practice what they preach with regards to not having a lot of name brand clothes, whereas other people that don't have money would want to buy all that name brand clothes to look a certain type of way.
Okay.
That's
All right.
I
Do you have headphones that you can use, or you don't have headphones?
think I
Because
do.
it may help with the audio a bit.
Let me check.
And again, I'll get the best of this and edit where need be.
Like that. Okay. Can you hear me better now?
Yes. Okay. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you said Joel.
Must
Did
I
you say
answer it
Joel
again?
something? You said Joel
Joe Rogan.
Joel
Definitely Joe Rogan.
Joe Nobin.
Joe
Nobin. Okay.
Rogan.
Robin.
Rogan.
Oh, Joe Rogan.
Rogan.
Okay. Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
the
Yes.
YouTuber. There we go.
Yes.
He's super honest, I think.
Right. Joe Rogan. Yes. So outside of him, you just said some rich people. So now, if he's like the one out of many that are actually, I guess, famous for being honest, outside of that, there are not many that you could really come to mind with. Would you agree with that?
Nah, nope.
And
Wait,
especially not
does
mainstream. So, um,
especially I'm trying to think. There are a few celebrities, but I don't actually know if they Kevin Gates, is that his name? I
okay,
hope I'm saying it right.
okay, okay.
With the tattoo, he has like a
Yes, yes,
teardrop tattoo
I'm very
here. I
familiar with
like
that.
a lot of what he says because he is on a lot about like growth and healing and all of that. I like what he has to say a lot. It resonates with me as well. I think he's also honest.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say
Mm-hmm.
the majority of people weren't honest, and let's say there
Mm-hmm.
was statistics to back that, which
Oh,
how would that affect children, or how did it? You said that people who in your past, people when you told people the truth or you were honest, they took advantage of you. I can relate to that
yeah.
as a human, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
From how I see it, it's not valued to be honest. And yeah, I would agree that most of the people who are valued for being honest are on platforms like YouTube, and they're not
Mm,
mainstream. They're not celebrated. If I look at our history here in the states, we had figures who were honest, and most of them have been bashed or even assassinated or certain things
mm,
because they were honest. So ridiculed, and personally, being honest, like you said, has caused me to be manipulated or taken advantage of because I was being honest, and not
mhm.
so much that I expected them to be honest back to me, but it was more of it's hard to for anyone to really see a lie until until you clearly understand what's going on,
Yep.
right? and
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
sometimes you don't need a proof. You can sense when someone is when their story doesn't add up to their actual lifestyle or their culture, right?
Isn't that your intuition, though?
Right, intuition. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So speaking of intuition, we'll go to the next question. How would you define empathy or intuition? Those two words are similar. How would you define empathy and intuition, and
Vision.
how how important is it to be able to have these skills as a mother, as a father, as an elder? Yeah.
Okay. Um, First, I can't speak to as a mother because I don't have a child. I'll just like go from my own mother. But empathy, from what I understand, is empathy is when I can empathize with you if I've been in the exact same situation as you. Compared to sympathy is I can just, oh, shame, oh, it's so sorry, sympathize. But empathize, from what I understand, we've been through exactly the same thing, so you know exactly how I feel. Intuition, mm, I think it's different for everybody because I think you kind of build on that as time goes along. Because there'll be instances where you tell yourself, I should have listened to myself, the gut told you, and you didn't. And then you just learn to listen to yourself as you go along. How does it affect the mothers? Okay, with my mother, we have a very close relationship, like we are super best friends. Um, I don't know. I think maybe the mother instinct kicks in when you become a mother. They call it that mother intuitiveness of knowing. Like, I remember when I had a friend once that she told me ahead of time. She was like, "That is not your friend," and she could see it before I even saw it, and that was her intuition. So that helped me. How did her empathy help me? I think because we are so close, she can empathize with me. I don't know if that makes sense. Yeah, maybe because we are that close, and I think it's more the mothers. They say it will kick in, like you'll know what to do when that time comes. But from a mother's point of view, I can't speak on that. But empathy, I believe, is when you know exactly how I feel because you've been through the same or somewhat similar thing and you're able to understand me better. And that can help society, both of them. I think if people just are more aware of stuff, if they have more information on something, and then they can try to be more empathetic towards people. Ignorance is bliss, so a lot of people will just be ignorant to a topic and not have any empathy towards it at all if they haven't gone through it or if they haven't had someone close go through it. I hope
Um,
that covers it.
if I was to define empathy as one's ability to think outside of their own emotions, um, and like that ability to say, for instance, like you have a because you're a future mother if you want to be, right? If you choose to be. If you have a child or you
Yeah.
have a student, say you're a teacher and the student is sad,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
you're upset, you're in an emotion of being upset or you're in anger, but this kid is sad, but you're not able to get beyond your anger to see that they're sad. That's a lack of
Mm-hmm.
empathy. Now,
Yep.
or you can have empathy, which is like, or example of having empathy would be like a kid is angry and they shout and they go out of the room and you're not upset but you're calm and you go outside the room and you find them angry and upset but you can sense. That's why I say
There's
intuition and
something
empathy
wrong.
two together is that you can sense that it's more than him being angry or she being angry, and you can
Yeah, so,
sense that the emotion that's
yeah.
anger is covering
Mm.
up something bigger. So then that
And
person
sorry to interject.
ends up
Yes,
crying and then
sorry to
sharing
interject.
some very hurtful experience. Yeah.
Exactly. I've had that happen to me with my friends actually, a lot of my past friends where you that is right, you do come across when someone has something a little bit more, there's just something going on, something else. I've had that. And I discovered that with my friends. She wasn't in a really good relationship at that time. And so this one day, it was about the fact that we were watching something that she didn't want to watch, whatever. And we were just like, oh, girl, why are you so like, what's wrong? Like, we'll just change the channel, watch something else. And then she just burst out crying. And then we found out, like, okay, and then we could sense it was definitely something way deeper. And then we found out what it was about.
Right.
So that does happen. I agree with you on that.
So when you think of the word cooperation, um, and let's say you have a family, and because are you someone that looks to have a family and be married at some point and have kids and all that?
At some point, not now.
Right. So
Some,
if you see
yeah.
that in your future,
Hmm.
um, and why not now? Because would you do you would you say you understand that as you grow older and you
Hmm.
go through certain relationships and maybe you become serial relationships like me, um, after I was divorced and married and so forth. Do you get better at commitment or you get worse at commitment if you just are like, oh, the older you get?
Um,
Do you feel
the
like your
reason why,
first love in your life you were committed to them the same way you were
oh, I
committed to
was,
say your most recent boyfriend?
Okay, so for me, I didn't have a lot of them. I didn't have a lot, and the recent heaviest one, most heaviest heartbreak for me, happened like about 6 months ago, and I was super, committed in that. I think after having that now, because that was so painful, um, you can become the serial dater, but you could also be a little bit scared. Which not scared, which is where I'm at right now. Meaning, I I don't want to go and purposely hurt the next person now. Do you get what I mean? And where I'm not working on myself yet and have all of that sorted out yet. So why don't